Do you ever wonder how the millionaires of the world make and manage their money? Would you like to know what it's like in the millionaire world, and how you can become a part of that league? Tom Stanley and William Danko will provide answers to the questions in your heart. Thomas J. Stanley is an American writer, researcher, and lecturer who dedicated most of his adult life to studying the affluent and how they live. William Danko is an associated professor of marketing in the School of Business, University at Albany, State University of New York. The Millionaire Next Door is a product of over 20 years of research on the lives of America's wealthiest households. Surprising facts and myths concerning wealth creation will be unveiled in the summary.
Anyone can create wealth. Wealth creation is the result of doing a set of things right. There's the place of luck and opportunity, but we all encounter those two from time to time, especially when you're in the right place doing the right thing. In this summary, you'll learn that wealth creation is not rocket science. You may not come from a wealthy home, live in a highbrow city, or have the same opportunities as the rich people you admire. But if you want it, wealth can be yours. It sounds cheeky to say, if you want it, because all humans want wealth, freedom, and comfort, among other things. However, the proof that you want something is not just that you vocalize it, but work at it, stopping at nothing until you achieve your goals. Most people are not like that, but that's the sort of mindset you need to have if you want to be wealthy. And if you're ready to imbibe it all the days of your life, then this summary is for you. Action is the proof of desire. If you want something, let it show in your actions. In the pages that follow, you'll learn that rich people think and act differently. You'll learn what these differences are, as well as how you can apply the mindset to your life to produce similar results. Next up, you'll learn how to plan your life, budget your money, and raise children who can create wealth for themselves. Chapter 2. More often than not, millionaires are more frugal than non-millionaires. Frugality is the secret to wealth. This is especially true for millionaires who acquire their wealth in their lifetime. This truth may come as a surprise to many people because of how the media is always painting the millionaire lifestyle as a lavish one. But in reality, only those who inherited their wealth tend to lavish money as close to what Hollywood and the rest of the media world is making us believe. During the various research for this summary, Tom Stanley, PhD, and William Danko, PhD, discovered something they weren't expecting when they started. Most self-made millionaires they met didn't look or behave like their net worths were anywhere near the $1 million mark. These folks lived in average neighborhoods, shopped in average stores, and even drove cars that the average Joe drove around. You wouldn't know they were wealthy. Another surprising fact that Tom Stanley, PhD, and William Danko, PhD, uncovered was that high-income and low-net-worth individuals were the ones who lived in expensive neighborhoods the most. They drove expensive vehicles, did regular luxury shopping, basically most of those things you would expect self-made millionaires to do. But that was why many of those high-income and low-net-worth individuals weren't wealthy. They didn't commit themselves to wealth creation. Instead, they blew off most of the money coming to them. It takes discipline, commitment, and delayed gratification to build wealth. Money is tempting, but those who have financial independence as one of their life goals understand the importance of savings and investing over spending. Hence, they learn to live below their paychecks. Whatever your income, always live below your means. Thomas J. Stanley, PhD. If you're going to be wealthy, then you need to learn to be frugal with what enters your bank account. Frugality is all about handling your resources wisely. It's the opposite of waste. The authors define waste as a lifestyle marked by lavish spending and hyper-consumption. Chapter 3. One of the ways millionaires practice frugality is through budgeting and planning. Most poor and middle-class people are not frugal. They receive paychecks or returns from business and just go ahead to spend it all on their needs. If you live like this, you'll have little to nothing to save and invest at the end of the day. It's the quickest way to remain financially down, no matter how much you earn. One thing you must know is that you'll never run out of needs. The more you satisfy them, the more others show up. And when your income rises, so will your needs. Therefore, the solution is not just to raise your income, but to be frugal with the way you handle money. There's no end to the things you can spend money on. This is why you must be disciplined. In this chapter, we'll discuss two twin principles for practicing frugality. They are budgeting and planning. You'll watch your net worth grow incredibly if you can master these principles. To begin with, you should have a framework for how much your family spends on household expenses in a week, a month, and over 12 months. This framework should reflect your current income. The second framework you should have is for your ideal lifestyle. This describes how you'd like to live in the future, the neighborhood you want to live in, the kinds of food you want to be eating, the cars you want to drive, and so on. Doing this will give you clarity. After deducting your savings and investments, you'll know how much is left for household expenses. Creating those two frameworks will let you know when you're overstepping by trying to live your dream lifestyle on your current income. It's easier to accumulate wealth if you don't live in a high-status neighborhood. Thomas J. Stanley, Ph.D. If you're new to savings and investments, experts recommend starting by putting aside 10 to 20% of every paycheck. Chapter 4. Time, energy, and money. Everyone has them, but people use them differently, and the results show. There are only a few things that all humans have in common. Time, energy, and money are some of them. For time, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but energy and money vary for a wide range of reasons. However, the reality is, every single one of us has enough of those three to become wealthy in a lifetime. But that's on the condition that we use them wisely. This is why financial education is an absolute necessity. Without it, many of us won't know how to live properly and achieve our desired career and financial goals. From Tom Stanley and Dr. William Danko's study, millionaires who made all their money in one generation, and even those who effectively manage inherited wealth, are those who understand how to properly allocate these three resources. It then goes without saying that, to be truly wealthy, you need to master these resources. The earlier you start earning and profitably investing money, the higher your chances of building a large net worth. This is where school dropouts and those who did only 4 years in college have advantage over the highly educated. The negative relationship between wealth and education is real, but it certainly doesn't suggest that good education is bad. If you are on the path of long education, or you trailed that path and are now a highly paid professional, what you need to do is focus on getting a solid financial education. That's how to beat time and achieve your financial goals. Secondly, use your time and energy productively. Your bank statement will always reflect how productively you use your time and energy. If you want to be wealthy, learn to cut unproductivity out of your life. Use your time very effectively. Let every bit of every second count. What do you do after work? Do you just sit and watch TV? Or is there time allocated to mastering your career and for investment planning? The more time you devote to your financial goals, the higher your chances of actualizing them. Third, hire the services of a trained financial advisor. It's also important how you get your advisor. The authors Tom Stanley and William Danko found that financial advisors obtained through referrals tend to be more effective. Did you know? An interview of over 200 millionaires by authors Tom Stanley and William Danko showed that most self-made millionaires are more frugal than non-millionaires. Chapter 5. Why affluent parents need to rethink economic outpatient care, EOC. Tom Stanley and William Danko define economic outpatient care, EOC, as the substantial economic gifts and acts of kindness some parents give their adult children and grandchildren. It's impossible to sustain family wealth for generations if you don't teach your kids how to master the money game. When kids grow up and move out of the house for the sake of education, or marriage, or simply independent living, they encounter the harshness of the real world. And it's terrible for economic underachievers because they won't be able to earn enough to sustain the lifestyle they grew up with. Usually, parents of these adult children will try and support them with regular cash gifts. One of the reasons that millionaires are economically successful is that they think differently. Thomas J. Stanley, Ph.D. It's not uncommon to find affluent parents supporting their 30 or 40-something adult child who is married but economically unstable. To the parents, they are helping out. But from what the authors discovered, EOC doesn't really help anyone in the long run. In fact, they discovered a vital truth. The more dollars adult children receive, the fewer they accumulate, while those who are given fewer dollars accumulate more. One of the major reasons for this is that gift receivers have a hard time distinguishing between their wealth and the wealth of their parents. Children who have the guarantee of regular cash gifts tend more to consumption than saving and investing. Consequently, the help no longer becomes a real help. It only makes them more dependent on their affluent parents. If you're a beneficiary of EOC, you need to learn how to be beneficially independent. Your parents won't always be there, and any inheritance you get from them will easily be squandered if you don't know and practice the principles of wealth creation. This also applies to parents of economically dependent adults. You have to give your children the opportunity to be independent. They may not like you in the beginning since they are used to EOC, but in time they will appreciate you for teaching them to be independent. As a parent, your goal should be to grow your child into an independent adult. Chapter 6. Find your niche, become a specialist, and increase your income. It's true that many high-income individuals have low net worths, but that doesn't erase the fact that you need to earn high to be wealthy quickly. How do you expect your investment portfolio to rise when your monthly savings barely amount to anything, no matter how hard you try to save? The secret to earning high in any niche is specialty and expertise. Any niche that's in demand can be profitable for you if you're an expert who targets the right customers. Naturally, to be wealthy doing what you do, you need to make the wealthy your clients, or customers as the case may be. But the wealthy are frugal, right? Well, not exactly. Wealthy people aren't so tight-wad concerning things that are really important to them. That's why you need to make yourself valuable, so valuable that anyone will happily pay you what you deserve. Follow the same old path. Study hard to truly know your options. If you're thinking about a career change and not sure what it should be, here are some of the careers/fields the authors think will be relevant to wealthy people in the coming days. Travel agents, bureaus, and travel consultants. Fundraising counselors. Housing specialists/dwelling products/services. Professional services specialists. Educational institutions and professionals. Asset liquidation, facilitators and appraisers. Medical and dental care specialists. Attorneys who specialize. This is certainly not an exhaustive list. If your passion wasn't listed above, do a background check to be sure it is in demand before making it a business. Chapter 7. What jobs and businesses make millionaires out of people? This is one question people never stop asking Tom Stanley and William Danko. Unfortunately, there is no one single answer to it. Becoming a first-generation millionaire has more to do with hard work, discipline, and accurate understanding of the principles of money than it does with occupation or industry. Nonetheless, their over 20 years of research and studying show that most millionaires are either self-employed professionals or business owners. One study found that self-employed people are 4 times more likely to be millionaires than those who work for others. But not everyone can survive the pains of starting and scaling a business. It's the reason most people prefer working for others. Wealthy people understand this too. That's why only 20% of their interviewed millionaires were comfortable letting their children start their own businesses or run the family business. Most would rather their children study to become self-employed professionals. If you want to be the first person to become a millionaire in your family, try starting a business or being self-employed. That's the easiest way to create massive wealth. If you're considering leaving the corporate world, a good piece of advice is to start off as a self-employed professional, gain experience, then work your way through becoming a business owner. Conclusion. Wealth creation is not a myth. There are exact blueprints that will guarantee results, if duly followed. Firstly, to be wealthy, you must discipline yourself to spend less than you earn. Focus on building your net worth no matter how long your current income is. And the great news is, you can start small today and scale up quickly. If your income is so low you wouldn't have much money left after saving, it's advisable you find ways to earn more. The more you earn and save for investment, the faster your journey to financial freedom. Finding ways to earn more could mean taking on a part-time job, freelancing on the side, starting a new business, or making more money from your existing business. Ask around, you would surely find something you can do. But a little note, just know that it won't be easy. The road to wealth creation was never paved with roses. Start by saving a fraction of what you earn, ideally no less than 10% of your paycheck. This money should go straight into building your investment portfolio. Do this for 12 months or more. Then start looking for investment vehicles you can push your money into. Be sure to not put your money into an investment you're not sure of. You don't want your hard-earned money to go just like that. A surefire way to invest safely as a beginner is to invest in vehicles that have been proven to work for others. Try this. Create a budget for your weekly, monthly, and annual expenses, and try to stick to it. If you have kids, start teaching them about frugality and wealth creation. Don't wait till they grow up.